Hello and welcome. Silrace here with Ghost in the Shell standalone complex first assault online. So they could have made that name even bigger, even longer if they really tried. I think they should have, because it feels a little short at the moment. Anyway, this is obviously based on the Ghost in the Shell franchise. I mean, that's in the name, right? It's a manga and anime by Masanori Ota, better known as Masamune Shirow. Anyway, he's made other awesome things like Akira, Black Magic. I am very big fan of his work, which is why I have been keeping an eye on this game as well. And I finally decided to get my hands on it while the packs were on Steam sale, because I didn't manage to get into the closed beta otherwise. Anyway, game is in Steam Early Access, and it's in the beta phases right now. Keep those two things in mind if you consider getting into this game. It is Steam Early Access. I am not very big fan of this Early Access program, like at all, which is why I was very hesitant on buying it in the first place, and which is why I currently do not recommend buying into this game, because it's Early Access, right? Anyway, wait until the game is out. The game is scheduled to be released sometime in 2016. Sometime. They didn't give an actual exact date. So, this is my first impressions on it. I will try to keep this kind of short and sweet and whatnot. Give you some of the basics. It's going to be a free-to-play game. You can buy guns, you can buy customizations, you can buy the various upgrades for the guns, and some of them seem to be just straight-up upgrades. Like, there seems to be no negative of getting certain things on your weapon, which might make it feel a little bit like, you know, pay to win. We will have to see just how badly pay to win it ends up being, though. That's something I'll have to figure out still. So yeah. So what makes this different from all the other shooters out there? Well, firstly, to me it at least feels just a tad slower than Call of Duty, for one. You don't jump quite as high as in Call of Duty, especially the latest ones where you know, wall jump and all that stuff. So there is that, but also you have these power-ups, these I can't call them class because they are specific to the character. Like, taken straight from the mangas, like Motoko has her thermal optic camouflage. Bato has a wrist rocket launcher. Saito has thermal sensor, that sort of things. Taken from the manga and anime and added in here. And so forth. So, essentially, Motoko has stealth. You saw me use it once already and so forth. However, there is a link system where you link that with a teammate. Like, your teammate nearby uses one of those, and it gives you a key. Essentially, you press your activation key to activate the same thing on yourself. I haven't figured out yet, is it exactly as powerful as if you were using it yourself? And here you can see me going into stealth. I wasn't in range of anybody though. So, and here I'm going very harsh here, and then there is this sentry turret, and I'm kind of out of position here, but hey, that's what happens occasionally when you are playing a game for the first time, because this is the first round I ever played of this. This is Team Deathmatch though, game mode. There are two others, and one of them seems kind of interesting because the capture point seems a little bit more interesting in the sense that it spawns a think tank. One of those think tanks, and you actually hack the think tank to deal more damage to it instead of just shooting at it. That seems quite interesting. Quite interesting. Quite a bit more thing. But I was talking about the link system, and to me that link system seems to be the selling point of this game. Like, you have these stealth and all these other things, but if you manage to link with your teammates, you can, with some coordination, you could have the entire team go stealth on a notice, essentially. You could have things like that. So you could do a whole lot of stuff with like actually having coordinated squads. And that might that might take this above Call of Duty, above latest Battlefields, where you didn't, at least I didn't feel as much synergy between things anymore. But that's just me also out of that. So it seems like it takes a while to kill somebody unless you get a headshot. That's something I haven't noticed so far, but also I don't play enough shooters that my aim is gonna suck. So I can't for the moment yet tell if the gunplay feels off. I need to play more rounds to figure that out. Alright? Anyway. I'll probably post a video later on once I have like figured more and more of the game out. I plan to play it a bit now since I did buy into it, but also because it's Ghost in the Shell. And if it's Ghost in the Shell, I am definitely into it because I am very big fan of, well, Shiro Masamune Shiro, Masanori Ota, whichever name you know this man by and his work by. Anyway. So overall my feelings on it, there are some kinks, there are some issues which I already right away came across. I will post another video discussing purely those, and overall I would have to say it feels kind of generic shooter. There are a couple things I will really love. Firstly, melee weapon. You have to actually swap to your melee weapon to do a melee attack. You don't have the instant knife you have in Call of Duty or Battlefield or what have you. That is fantastic. The issue is that they didn't, you know, do it just purely on the knife. They didn't do it with the grenade. As in, I think I just said it wrong there. They did it purely on the knife. I believe they should have done the Call of Duty grenade throwing as well. As in, you have to swap to the grenade to then throw the grenade. You do have still the instant grenade throw from other previous games. Unfortunately, that's the case. Maybe eventually we will have some other kinds of grenades than just pure frag grenades. I always felt like, you know, I mean, we are talking about Section 9, we are talking about essentially Police Force. Why are Police Force using fragmentation grenades and stuff? It feels a little out of place. I think there should have been some other kind of a grenade here as the default grenade. But that's just me. And there was a very weird grenade throw. To me, the grenade throwing felt very floaty, like when you just press a button to instantly throw a grenade, felt extremely floated, felt extremely off. At least to me, like there is no weight behind it at all. So that I have a bit of an issue on that. But most of my issues so far have been on the front of like keybind menus and all of these things. I haven't played enough rounds to really figure those out, and I'll briefly show you the scoreboard here as well while I wrap this video up. This is, like I said, the first round, and finally, to say it once more, Steam Early Access, closed beta essentially. If you are buying into this thing, understand what you are buying into. Personally, I would highly suggest waiting until the game is out to also figure if this is going to be a massive pay-to-win game or not. I cannot answer that yet. I will hopefully put up a proper video later on where I can answer that question for you folks. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you, well, learned a little bit if this might be your thing, your game to get into.